great afternoon. This is day 2. We call it moving day. After today, 1 in 5 anglers with the heaviest weights will move on to fish day 3. Their weights will 0, and they will start over in a one-day shootout. They're fishing for 3 fish a day, 20 to 28 inches in length. All right, here he comes. Jecko's Marine Pro, Mr. Mark Robinson's coming to the stage. He's got 3 fish, 3 alive. They're going to go on their Waterloo Rods Live Redfish Experience Take 1938. Here we go. Y'all put your hands together. Of course, that puts you in first place, but 40.95. And we were talking about 42. But do you think everybody might have had a little bit tougher day today with the conditions?
Yeah, I kind of played it safe today. My goal was to get, 40, 41 pounds, 42 pounds for the whole thing. I thought 40 pounds would go through, but there's some big reds out there now, and, you never know, but I hope it holds up. I hope it might get me in third place, but I'm not sure if it'll hold all the way.
All right, here we go. 3 fish, 3 alive. Coming off of 20.59 yesterday, get them weighed up and locked in at 18.44. And his Check-It Stick Big Red is going to weigh in at 8.31. Put your hands together from Marrero, Mr. Mike Furnett. She's all the way in the back. Don't worry, she's got her zoom lens today. She's got a beautiful camera rig, and she doesn't have to stand right in front of the stage.
Yes and no. I mean, I just didn't have the opportunities. I only had 5 or 6 bites yesterday. Today I had 3 bites. You see what I have. So what you're doing is you try to get your third fish like that, and then you want to call those 2 fish. That other guy wasn't getting called. He was coming home. Yeah. And the other 2 I wanted to call. Saw one good fish where I was, but he didn't want anything to do with anything.
We're going to bring you all the way from Beaumont. Let me get down here and see where you were. Cajun Labs Pro, Mr. Daniel Dong. He's got 3 fish. Listen, coming off of 13.39 yesterday. I could tell by the dancing and the jumping up and down, he's done better than that. He's got 3 of them, and he struggled to stay under 26 pounds, 25.56. That's what I'm talking about. Can you put your hands together for Daniel Dong, rookie? Rookie's on stage.
Spots. So yesterday I played it safe and stayed really close. Wanted to hit some fish that I knew it could get, make about 7-pounders. There was a bunch of 7-pounders in there the other day, a bunch of 6s. But it didn't happen for me. They were there, they didn't eat, and there was a ton of those little 22, 23 inches around. I was fishing schools all day, saw over 100 fish. It was a great time, but I just didn't find them. So today, where I was, middle of the pack, I wish I had probably about 16, 17 pounds yesterday. That would have put me really within striking range to really do something. But today I was like, man, I'm going to the rodeo. We're gonna go ride some bulls, man.
Travis, you coming off of 21-22 yesterday. You got 3 fish today. You need 19.73 to take the lead. But I got a feeling we're just hoping we could nudge our way into third place somehow. Here we go. 3 fish, 3 alive. Got you on the board with 13.22. Tough day for Mr. Land. So we went to Jacksonville, Florida, and every one of our pros traveled and went with us. 1,000 miles, 900 miles, something like that. Day 2, down in Florida, Travis had a good day 1, day 2, and in Florida it's 1 fish a day and all that kind of stuff there. So he comes, looks just like this. Comes to stage on day 2. What'd you weigh in?
Oh, like 3 pounds.
3 pounds. I'm like, you know what? How many guys would have just put it on the trailer? I ain't going up there with a 3-pounder. He said, man, I got people I represent, and I'm coming to the stage regardless, bro. Hats off to you. Another tough tournament for you. What went a little bit different today? Yesterday's a pretty strong stringer. More traffic out there. What'd you have?
Yeah, a little different conditions, a little more traffic. I kind of punted on my original game plan pretty fast this morning. Man, I fish this area so much. I think sometimes you can know a little too many spots to fish when you're fishing this close to areas that you really like to fish and enjoy fishing. Nothing's really close to right here that I like. So if you go north, you're committed. If you go south, you're committed. So I committed to go north, and I swung and struck out. So my hat's off to these guys. My little Chinaman buddy, he did a heck of a job.
You're so stupid. These two go back and forth at it. Y'all are crazy.
No, it's all in good spirits. I'm glad he had a good day. He was fired up. But happy to be here, close to a bunch of great sponsors of mine. Of course, we got Jimmy standing here. Mark and I and several other guys couldn't do it without him and their help. And Speedy Stop right behind us for having us. The Chamber of Commerce, nobody's mentioned them yet. Ms. Darla, she made a lot of this happen for us. You guys don't forget to thank them. We really appreciate Port O'Connor Chamber of Commerce for having us here. I know they have another boat show coming up here pretty soon, October. So y'all make sure you come out for that. Jim and Jared Poole with Mamba Boats, right down the road, Coastline Trailers. If you're going down the road with anything less than a coastline, I feel sorry for you. We actually had Sean fishing one of his first tournaments with us this week. I'm glad to see him out here. I remember when he was running around the shop in diapers. So,
Last week.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Power Pole, and I know Abu Garcia, Berkeley Gulf. Yeah, Yamaha, my number one Yamaha. I can't complain about that, man. I was up and down and moving all around today trying to make something happen. But thanks for having us, and we'll gear up for the championship.
National Championship in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Travis, great job. Little tough on him today, but a really good angler. Coming up next, Texas Ranger Whiskey Pro, Mr. Will Granberry. Will, you got 3 of them again today? Okay, 3 fish, 3 alive, and you go to 12:32. That's not normal for you. You always catch them. Let's dump them, and then we'll get up our best 2 and get a picture. We have a non-spotted. Can it be a redfish if it ain't got a spot? We need a ruling from our committee. Let me talk to the committee. Hey, can it be a redfish if it ain't got a spot? Yeah, it can be a redfish. All right, we heard back from the committee, and it's a redfish. All right, man, so now we gave you a few minutes to think about it. What was the big difference today? A lot of really good anglers kind of going a little bit backwards.
It was a very tough day. I knew my fish were going to move on me that I'd been fishing, and I had to go look, though, this morning, and I had a plan B and a plan C, and I'm glad I did. I fished plan A, and it just wasn't happening, so I moved to plan B, and there were 2 Poland skiffs and a tower boat right on the shoreline, right where I was going to go. So I dropped back and punted to plan C, and I saw 4 fish, those 3 and then 1 small one. I fished really clean, and I had some tide change. I thought, well, maybe plan A might start to kick off a little bit, and I went back to plan A, and it just was still as dead as it was at the first of the morning. The Castaway Customs, Waterloo Rods, Texas Ranger Whiskey, Stellar Water. I can't thank those guys enough for supporting me. Without their support, I wouldn't be here and be able to do this.
All right, brother. Great job, Will. We appreciate you so much. Will Granberry from Edna. Stage, Redfish Lodge of Louisiana Pro, Mr. Michael Furnett. Y'all put your hands together for him. When they, again, I'm going to explain to you this today. The only time that there can be a reweigh is whenever the fish move exactly at the same time that the scales lock in, and that's our call. The angler can't request them. He didn't request it, but I saw the scale lock in the exact same time this bag jumped with the fish inside of it. The weight came back to be the exact same thing. He had 21.48 yesterday, 3 fish, 3 live. He improved, 21.91. Okay, there we go. Put your hands together all the way from Baton Rouge, Michael Furnett. $43.39, and we were talking high 42s. We felt good about that yesterday. Looking at some of these heavy hitters coming in early, it looks like that may be good enough.
It's as good as I could have done, no matter what. Went right back to where we were catching them well yesterday morning, and it was a totally different world. The fishes weren't biting. I was able to get a good one within my first or second cast, and had a 7-pounder, 6.5-pounder, whatever that smaller one was. I wound up catching him about 2 hours later, and then another hour went by, and then another hour went by, and all I had was a 4-pounder to go with it. And I told myself, you can't die right here, man. You got to get out of here and go try to catch 1 fish. I don't have to catch 3. I need 1.
So you made a late move.
I ran about an hour, 45 minutes at least, and made a move, and it was a spot, like I told you, that I found some fish on it, and I couldn't get them to bite in practice at all, but they had the right fish in there. So I told myself today, you know, you ain't got time to go look for new fish. Go put yourself in an area where you found those fish, and maybe you'll get lucky with 1. And sure enough, I got a good one.
Stingery Restaurant Pro, Mr. Tony Viator, all the way from Winnie. You toting that thing a little bit easier today. Oh, okay. You struggled a little bit right then. Tony, everybody's kind of taking a pound or 2 backwards. That looks like it's happened to you too.
Oh, I took a big hit today. Started off on the same piece of rock, doing the same thing I was doing, and I had 2 fly pole guys.
Fly fishermen.
Yeah, they saw me land a fish, so they cut in, landed, started fishing 50 yards in front of me. So I left, went to my B spot, if you would, broke a really good fish off there, went back to my A spot. When I got there, I could see a boat with a guy fishing on it at the south end of it. It's a 2 mile long stretch of rock. Okay. So I pulled into the middle of it, figuring I would just keep my drift way ahead of his. 5 minutes later, he cranked up and went up, drove 100 yards in front of me, sat down, fished in front of me. I watched him for a while, watched him catch fish for sure. Decided, well, I'll go back to B, check it again. Went back to B, came back to A. He was back on the same south end, and he did the exact same thing. He cranked up, got right in front of me, and it is what it is. But I had my shots. I broke off 2 really good fish, and which is weird because I don't ever break off fish.
Coming up next, East Texas Safe Floor Pro, Mr. Jeremy Reeves coming to the stage. What's up, my brother? Okay, now listen. Yesterday we had 1 for 7. It don't look like you. Did you get all 3?
I got all 3. I got a story for you though.
Okay, well let's do this. Let's weigh your 3. Man, you really did a lot better than yesterday. Read your fish. Read your scale. Get you locked in at 1643. Big improvement.
I said yesterday I had a lot of boat traffic. I didn't hardly see anybody today. Same exact spot. I mean, give me a break.
What does that tell you?
Yeah, I know. Well, I tell you what, if I'd have been more patient yesterday, I'd have had 3, and I'd have probably had 20 pounds or so. There's 23, 24 pounds over there. I had fish about an hour away, and I knew they were really good ones. I got over there yesterday, and they just weren't. The water was real muddy, and it was storms and everything. But anyway, I started on the A spot, and I stayed on the A spot all day, and I caught a ton of fish today. There's more fish there than what I thought, but
Was the water still clean?
the water was still clean. I sight casted everything, but the story is, so got the 3rd fish in the live well, give it a little fist bump, got back on the tower, caught another small fish, got him off, said, well, I'm going to look at this fish. I'm going to make sure he's, a lot of times they'll belly up after a long, hard fight and all that. I open the lid to the live well. He hits me in the face with water, so I can't see, disoriented, and I hear kaploosh.
He did not jump out.
He jumped out of the live well, never touched the boat, and hit the water. And then before I knew what happened, I'm like, I've only got 2 fish in the live well.
Hopefully you have good parents like you that'll come help, get involved, coach, and do things like that. But every once in a while, Dad gets a weekend off, and he comes out here to do this. I know that you have to divide your time. You got a lot of great sponsors. Let's thank them and tell them how much we appreciate how they help us get out here.
Yeah, I run a Haney boats. They're actually made not too far from here in Seadrift. Man, that boat, it's been a great boat. It's actually for sale. I got a new one sitting at Haney right now, ready to go. So Mercury Marine, Falcon Rods, Bridge City, Texas, Coastal Propeller.
Amba Custom Boats Pro, Mr. Gary Marino. He's got 3. You got 1 that didn't make it? Okay, that's the first fish of the tournament. This tournament alone, we did a $5,000 bonus for the first dead fish. Congratulations. And you're going to see Jimmy from Waterloo Rods. He'll take care of that payment. I just want to let you. Okay. He may not know anything about it, so if he acts surprised, that's just him having fun. All right, here we go. Well, he had 20.26 yesterday. He's going to have a 3/4 pound penalty. So we're going to get his weight locked in at 1977. That's going to give him 1902 with my math. Look at that, son. Look at that right there. Now, we're not in the big red, so let's dump them and get our 2 best out to show the folks. That's 4.11 pounds behind the leaders. Let's see what that does to him. Oh my! Anybody else over there to weigh? Huh? You're not serious. Okay, well let's go take a picture. I mean, you can't win them all, Gary. Is that big one? That's the dead one? Yes. Okay, if you want to hold him, I'll put him in the cooler afterwards. Looks like he just when you got him checked in, got expired. There. Oh, that's a beautiful fish. Wow, look at that. Get out front, y'all. Put your hands together. Hold on. Stay there, Gary. Don't go nowhere. I'm going to put this one in, and then, Dawn, if you want to do another picture. Hold on. Stay right there, Gary. She's going to probably work with you a little bit. All right. Well, a total weight for you of 39.28, and unfortunately, you didn't get a 4th place. You got 3rd. You made the cut, baby. Yeah. What was the big difference for you today? I mean, those are good fish, and you didn't act like you really thought you had that kind of finish in you for today.
You know, I went to my first spot, and there were fish everywhere, just actively feeding on the shoreline. I mean, just blowing up. I said, this is fixing to go down. I'm fixing to hammer on some fish. And I threw out, stuck the first fish, and he was gill hooked. And I said, gosh, dang it. And 7.5 pound fish. I'm not going to get rid of him. And I doctored him for probably a half hour while I'm watching fish blow up all up and down the shoreline. I said, gosh, I got to get busy. So I put him in there. I hooked him up, let him swim, and started going down the shoreline. And I found what I needed, what I thought I needed. And then I made an area code change. I ran from one end of the world. If I was to tabulate it, it was probably close to 70 miles, all the way across to the other boundary. Wow. And you can't catch fish when you're on the big motor. And I said, you know, I just had to take a chance. And I came back after that didn't pan out, and went down the shoreline and saw a bunch more fish. So I think I got a really good game plan for tomorrow.
It's never a gimme when you tee it up against these guys.
Oh no, it's always good competition with these guys. Everybody's been here. Pretty much everybody knows where the good spots are. That's kind of what I would usually fish for. But this time I just went for consistency, and it got me up here. So tomorrow I think I'm gonna have to swing for the fence and go back to my roots and fish for 9-pounders and try to win big red too.
He is your leader. The weight won't matter, but being in first place does. 43.39 pounds. Michael Fournette.
I gave it everything I had today. You know, Shirley left no meat on the bone. It just depends what the fish do in the morning at my A spot. If they bite, I'll be good. If they don't bite, again, I went to that spot that I've been knowing about for a long time, and it had a bunch of fish on it, and they just wouldn't eat, and got lucky today. So if I got to count on that, I don't think I'll be in great shape. But there's also plenty of other spots that I know about that I didn't have time to pre-fish, and if I get in a jam, I know at least a couple places to where I won't be fishing in the dark.
Hey, folks, it's been great being with you. And also, just to let you know, tomorrow at 2:30, we'll start off with the kayak tournament. We have a full field, 40 anglers. They're going to team up into 20 teams, 40 kayaks in this thing, and they're going to come in and get everything started. Then these final 3 will come in just after that and have a conclusion to the 2024 Speedy Stop Open Championship right here in Port O'Connor. It's been great to be with you. Have a great afternoon. We look forward to seeing everybody when we do it all again tomorrow right here on the Tidewater Boats Elite Fishing Series presented by Yamaha Outboards. My name is Pat Malone. Thank you so much for tuning in and for showing up. It's been great to be in Port O'Connor. We've got one more day to settle this and see who's going to take home that top check and that championship trophy and be crowned the 2024 Speedy Stop Open Champion right here in Port O'Connor. Have a great afternoon. We'll see you online.